while gold is above $2,500 right now, and it's much higher than it was, say, in mid 2016. Junior miners, this is GDX divided by the price of gold, have underperformed gold through all these years. So today I want to look at this relationship between gold miners versus gold price itself, and more specifically I want to refer to what the experts, the billionaire experts, think about it. There was a very interesting talk involving Pierre Lassonde and Frank Giustra back in September 2023 at the Denver Gold Forum. Both of these billionaires are well known in the industry. You might have heard of the Lassonde curve, which shows the value of a junior miner through the stages of discovery and development. And Frank Giustra, another billionaire, is famous for building several successful gold mining businesses, including Wheaton River, which sometime in the past was the second largest miner. Part of that Wheaton River eventually went into Gold Corp. Another part eventually became the legacy of Wheaton Precious Metals, which is now a royalty streamer company. While you can actually find the full video of this discussion online, I'll try to remember to post the link down in the description. I will distill the main points for you so that the video is much shorter. With that significant underperformance of miners, especially junior miners, versus gold price, even the industry experts are becoming discouraged. Pierre Lassonde, for example, back in September at that forum, called juniors fireflies. Additionally, and I'm freestyle quoting here, he said the miners, the cash flow is the best ever, but it's not reflected in their stock prices. There is a complete and total disinterest at the equity level. If you remember the Lassonde curve, he's sort of plugging in his curve here, there is a big spike in front, then a decline. That lower section is getting stretched out to 2 to 6 years and is becoming the killing field because juniors are not able to get through that section. It's going to be very difficult to finance juniors unless they have a strong backing. By the way, at myfinanceteacher.org, we have a special category over here at Juniors in Metals, which discusses some of the most interesting, most promising juniors. Among those, we do have juniors with significant backing from large established industry players. So for that additional torque that the juniors can provide once miners finally catch up with the gold price itself, make sure to join us at myfinanceteacher.org. Now coming back to the billionaire's opinion of juniors, Frank Giustra's response, freestyle distilled quote here, the sentiment is as bad as it's ever been. Let me remind you, Pierre, you and I had this conversation in 2001. I was trying to talk you into creating what was eventually going to be Wheaton River. You said, Frank, that will never happen. In sentiment like that, even people working in the gold industry are getting discouraged. There's a real value there, and eventually it will be discovered. Again, these are the words of Frank Giustra. By the way, he was talking about Wheaton River, established in 2001, when he had a similar conversation to Pierre Lassonde, right at the time when the sentiment in precious metals was again down through the floor. More recently, Frank Giustra does mention that juniors do have value and it will eventually be discovered. He said that back in September 2023. Since then, though, the value of juniors versus gold price hasn't really recovered yet. We see that over the last couple of years, gdxj versus gold is basically sideways. It's down 41% versus the 2020 peak and down 52% versus the 2016 peak. But in Frank Giustra's words, when the value of juniors is discovered, as let's say in 2016 or in 2020, the recovery is very quick, and it might happen unexpectedly anytime. Again, perhaps for that reason you might want to have at least some exposure, more in this category, juniors in metals. Again, continuing with Frank Giustra's opinion of the juniors, there was another very interesting talk he gave to Kitco Mining, also in September 2023, where he said that if he had unlimited funds like Bill Gates, he would be buying control of loads of gold miners because they are the cheapest that he's ever seen them. He said that there is such a disparity right now between gold and gold miners. The current precious metals market is the buyer's market. Again, that's if you have funds. Regarding that availability of funds though, you do want to consider the particular juniors with the backing of some other major players. Again, you can find details on that in this category, juniors in metals. To conclude, let's hope we see another huge spike on this chart very, very soon. Have a fantastic Friday. Bye bye.